Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of the Last Cycle Heart podcast. DJ, spin that.
Cycle Heart podcast. You are listening to the Last Cycle Heart You are listening to the Last Cycle Heart podcast.
What is up, everybody? How was your Friday or evening, Friday morning, whatever time you're listening to this? Actually, I know you're probably not listening to this Friday morning because I am making this Friday evening due to the fact that I had work today. And I made it this Friday. Round of applause for me. Wow, I actually made it. Didn't make it last week. What's your excuse? Tell them your excuse. Shut up. Conscience. I was getting there. My cord broke. That hooks into my microphone. I've been trying to find it, and it's hard to find a replica of a wire that hooks into the USB of your computer from a stolen microphone. So I guess it is pretty hard. I guess this is kind of an older model of the microphones that I at my school. So I had to go out and about and roam around for a while, and I couldn't make it last week. I also had other things to do, and the wire was just one of them, and it broke. I don't know how it broke, but it just wouldn't work anymore when I plugged it in my computer. But guess what? I finally found one, and I can now do another podcast for you guys. A little malfunction can never stop the progression of the Last Cycle Heart podcast. We're going to keep on chugging along. You know what? I am going to aim. I like writing goals, and I like setting goals down because it's really good. Small goal. Next week, next Friday, going to have a podcast. Boom. There you go. I'm already rolling with a goal right now. I don't think anybody writes goals in 2020. We're all too good for them. We just, wake up in the morning and piss excellence. Quote from Ron Burgundy. Or no, that's not Ron. That was not the Will Ferrell movie that he played. Not Ron Burgundy. It was Talladega Nights. Rick and Bobby. That's who it was. Shake and bake. Piss excellent. I think that's who it was. It could have been either character. I haven't watched those movies in a long time. But I did see a thing on the internet, though, between Will Ferrell movies and Adam Sandler movies, which ones were the best collection of, and I don't know. I'm a Will Ferrell fan. Adam Sandler's great and all, but Will Ferrell had me rolling a lot more. He had a lot more consistent movies that I think. It's just like Adam Sandler, come on, sequels, that many sequels. Will Ferrell, I don't know. He even did a Spanish movie. You can find it on Netflix. It's called Lost something. Of course, I say one Spanish thing, but it's I don't know. But he speaks Spanish the whole entire time, or I don't know if he's speaking Spanish. He may be. I don't know. Will Ferrell is very talented. Who knows? I know there's a lot of Will Ferrell talent. A lot of Will Ferrell talk at the very beginning of this, all because of the quote. Anyways, my week. I just feel like people have been down in the dumps lately. Been a little depressed. I don't know. It's about to be Halloween, but I feel like the people that I've been around have been down in the dumps, depressed. It's just not. I don't know. I thought the rest of this year was gonna progress upwards, but I feel like for some people it hasn't. Because of all places, Chick-fil-A. I go there to eat, but also the people there are usually very spastic, energetic, ready to deliver at all times, very nice. But this guy, I can just tell that he had it. Okay? Either A, number one, he was doing a double, he didn't get enough sleep. He's running on like 4 hours of sleep, has to do a 12-hour shift. He's not having it, had a 30-minute break, barely got to eat. Or he is picking up on someone else's slack and had to stay or something. Either way, I bumped into him at the wrong time, And I pulled up, and he just looked at me, and he goes, "All right, hey, what's up? What do you want?" That's what he said to me right out of the gate at Chick-fil-A. I was like, all right, demanding. I like it. I'm going to get, and I ordered. I paid him, and then I was just like, "You have a great day." And he looked at me, and he said, "Pleasure." I caught him on a bad day. He said pleasure. He was having such a bad day. The my just was like not even in his brain anymore. He didn't even want to say it. He was just like, pleasure. I was like, oh, okay. So people are not really happy right now. We need something. November, hopefully, will bring us back around. Always challenges bring up people's spirits. When someone does a challenge like No Shave November. See where I'm getting at? I'm loopholing into my next thing. I'm loopholing into a thing on a thing. Okay? I have a challenge for you. It's kind of like No Shave November, but it goes along with November. Some of y'all did challenges during October, like Sober October. I knew it was one, but I think that was more of another podcast thing that I listened to. But there's things in October that people do, but also in November. And I got a challenge for you. I'm doing No Necrophilia November. It is very hard. It is very hard. I know. It's going to be very hard. I know for some of you out there, I know it's a very big challenge. Like no shave November, y'all could probably do it in a breeze, but just No Necrophilia November. That is just something that is, I mean, just something that you've never heard of before. And just like, you're like, man, it is extra challenging this year. I mean, I got not only COVID, but it's flu season. And on top of that, the last Uncle Heart podcast wants me to do No Necrophilia November. Like, where's all the fun? So that's the challenge. So we're going to make that hashtag. Hashtag No Necrophilia November. Get it trending on all platforms. And we are just going to get this thing going. We're going to get it going. Let everybody know. Let everybody in. Let them know what's up. Like, hey, are you doing No Necrophilia November? What's that? Some of you don't even know what necrophilia is. Look it up. That's the point. The definition. I'm not telling you the definition, because if you really want to participate, you either A, know what it is, or B, you're really interested that you may be doing it. So then you're going to search up the definition and be like, you know what? I'm going to have to participate in No Necrophilia November now. That's what's going to have to happen. And I agree. You're going to have to participate in No Necrophilia November. It's just going to help. And then you're going to feel so cleansed. After you participate in it, you're going to feel so cleansed and so well-rounded to go right into December with your families. Just going, wow, I just sobered up and I am just ready to go back to my normal life. Thank you, Dawson. Thank you, Dawson, for the challenge. I accept it. So if you're going to do it, go along with me. I'm going to do it. I'm in this thing for the long haul. 30 days, I think. Is there 30 days in November? I think this year's making me stupid. But however long it is, 1 month. 1 month, all the month of November. No necrophilia. It's going to be a challenge. Email me. We could be accountability partners. All of us. But that's going to be the challenge. That's what I have good news for y'all. That's my beginning news. But along with that, there's also these things floating around. There's a lot of relationships, dating. That's a really big right now. It's a big thing that's trying to speed back up. I have friends getting back into relationships, and they need to be careful. They need to be careful. You know, friendships, there's new friendships to be made. There's new friendships lost every day. I don't know what the stat is on friends becoming friends and lost friends, but I think there's been a big heavy ratio of losing friends this year. And whether it is dating or whether it is friendships, I am here to help. And I want to, on the last, Dawson Englehart here on the Last Englehart podcast wants to help you be able to, find your soulmate or find your good old solid friends. But these are the names that you have to stay away from. I'm only here to help. I am only here to help. So to help you find friends, solid friends to trust, they'll always be there for you. Same thing with dating. You gotta trust me on this. These are names of people, boys or girls, boys and girls, okay? It's not just gonna be one-sided. Just people that, necessarily you cannot be friends with or date. It's just one of those things that I wouldn't really cross that line, but I would definitely, like if I was you and you were, tempted or wanting to pursue it, I would put up a barrier, put up just like, that might be a red flag, but I would put up a protection of yourself because they may not be all the same. Like for example, if you have gone through your life and you met a Dawson and he's a complete jerk, then you meet another Dawson and he's a complete jerk. Then you meet me, Dawson, and guess what? I'm a jerk. All 3 Dawsons that you met are jerks. So guess what? You're not going to want to do? Hang out with a dude named Dawson. So here are a list of names, boys and girls, of people that I think you should stay away from. Or not date. But if you want to be friends with them and date, just, put up a barrier. Be careful. Take precaution. Pepper spray. Anything self-defense. But we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. We're just going to start things off strong. Stephanie's out. Out of the question. Instant red flag. Why? Evil stepmother. Stepmothers are the worst, but especially named Stephanie. No one likes a Stephanie. At the very beginning, they will like a Stephanie, but she is very deceiving. They are very deceiving, very sneaky. Because if you let them in too close, they're in for the kill. They are in for the kill. They're already in with their venom, Stephanie venom. They're just already there. They're a lot like sirens. Sirens, those Greek mythical, like just enchanting, amazing mermaids. They like sing at this perfect, beautiful pitch, and it just teases guys to just fall over the shit for them and go to them. And then when they get to them, these sirens, they turn into these beasts and they eat them whole. Okay. If you've never heard of them before, look it up. It's pretty crazy. If you've heard of it, then you know to stay away. Even if you've heard of it or you haven't heard of a siren, just from where I told you, stay away from a Stephanie. But if you want to go close to it, make sure to have a barrier. Barriers are very important for making friends and new dating people, or even just acquaintances. Okay, if you just want to have a good time, acquaintances, or you just meet somebody, whatever, walk past them. Barriers are important, especially for Stephanies. So no one, Stephanies, careful, be careful. I'm going to say that a lot on this list. Barriers and be careful. Those are the 2 biggest things when it comes to this list if you want to tread into that territory. Number 2, anyone with a unisex name, such as Alex or Sam. Just flat across the board. They're confusing. They're very confusing. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what pronouns to use, especially in 2020, because I made that mistake at a Starbucks dealing with, I have came across as Sam. And I like to say this thing at the very end of my sentences. I like to say, thanks, man. Either way, I don't care. I kind of use it as a universal thing. I don't care male or female. I like to say thanks, man, after the end of it. But, I might need to stop and think. But in this instance, I actually thought. And I did not think good enough. And I said, thanks, man. They looked at me very weird. And then I was like, you know what? I think I made a mistake. I thought this was a Samuel, but it turned out to be a Samantha. And we all know one thing about Samanthas. Samanthas are not very good looking. I have never met a great looking Samantha. I've never met a Samantha with a great personality. That is fact. That is straight fact. Really, Dawson? I've met cute Samanthas. No, you haven't. They're just like sirens. Mythical. Non-existing. Just like this Samantha that I was standing in front of. It was very confusing because they didn't have their button on or whatever to tell me what they were. So I just took my coffee and got out. like a mature, really confused person that I was. And I am still confused to this day. I still don't know if it was a Samuel or if it was a Samantha. I still would like to know. But I don't want to go back in that Starbucks because I don't want to make that distinction. I don't want to have to. But anybody with a unisex name, I'm going to go down the list. There's even more unisex names than what you would think. Bailey. Okay? Girls, name Bailey. Awesome. Guys, name Bailey. Weird. It's fact. No guys named Bailey. I've met one guy named Bailey. Very odd. We just need to keep that name in the girl group. But either way, I would just stay away from the confusion. Just sum it up all together. Just be like, hey, I'm just going to step back, not even initiate. You have a unisex name. I've listened to the last I Go Heart podcast. I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to step back. I'm not going to want to pursue you in a friendship or dating wise because you have a unisex name. Boom. Right there. That would be the smartest decision. But if you want to pursue it, like I said, barrier. Barriers are important. All right. Craig's. Yeah. If you're listening and your name is Craig, red flag. Actually, as Craig's or anybody with just one syllable name that's a guy. One syllable name. Craig, Chad, Bill, Tom, Todd, any of those. Any of those are just straight one syllable. Because there's nothing coming great from a one syllable name. Hey, did you hear about Craig? What did you hear about Craig? He went to jail today. He punched an old lady. Oh, well, it sounds like Craig. Oh, did you hear about Craig today? What did he do? Oh, he saved a dog from drowning in a creek. Huh, that doesn't sound like a Craig move. No, that does not sound like a Craig move. The first one sounds like a Craig move. The first one sounds like a Craig move, a Tom move, a Todd move, a Chad. Any one syllable. Bill. I mean, girls that are one syllable are completely fine because it's like they're nature-y. It's like faith, sky, star. And you're like, wow, that's very positive, uplifting. And then you go down to the guys' names is Chase, Clay, Craig, Dean, Flynn, Gage, Grant, Guy, Hayes, Heath, Hugh, Jace, James, John, Jude. And you're like, whatever. I want to go for a faith or a sky. Okay, so then on this one, what we'll do is guys, if you want to pursue a relationship with a girl with a one syllable name, faith, skies, star, whatever, those are very positive. I guess go for it. You can go for it. Friendships, go for it. Ladies, stay away from Craig's. Stay away from Craig's, Todd's, Tom's, Bill's. I don't know. Any one syllable name. Just keep a barrier. Keep your distance. I'm keeping you safe. I want y'all to have good, long lasting friendships and relationships out here. I want the best for y'all. Let's just go down the list to give it. Right now we're at Stephanie's, anyone with a unisex name, and one syllable guy names. Okay? We're only at 3. We got those 3 down. I hope you're writing notes. You have your notepads out, because we're going to keep this thing chugging along. This is help for you to set up barriers and make the best friendships and have the best relationships at all possible. Any girl with K versions of C names or C versions of K names. Okay, we'll reboot that back. I'll repeat it again. Okay, any girls with K version of C names or C versions of K names. So basically, like if a girl is named Caitlin, or if she spells it with a K or a C, either way, don't go for her. Karen, I've never seen it spelled with a C, but it could be spelled with a C. Who knows? We don't, it's kind of crazy. But any K versions, Caitlin, Callie, Kristen, I think Kristen is the name of a serial killer. Kristen Gilbert. That's what her name is. Do you know who Kristen Gilbert is? Yeah, she was that nurse that killed 4 people, murdered 4 people, and attempted another 2. She could have had 6 total deaths. Okay? And some guys right now are dating Kristens. You better watch your back. She's a top serial killer too. I think she's top 5. I don't know if she made it to the top 3, but she's definitely top 5. If she killed the other 2 and made it 6, she definitely would have been number 1. Or at least top 3. But Kristen's, Caitlin's, anybody with K's, K versions of C, C versions of K's, any of those, stay away. It's protection for you. Set up boundaries if you're going to get close. Maybe a stick. Bring a stick along with you as protection. I don't know. It's just something just to think about. I know these are kind of crazy accusations. Dawson, this is a lot to take down. So you're telling me that I gotta be careful around every girl that starts with a C. No, I'm not saying every girl that starts with a C. Every girl that has a name like Caitlin, and it could be switched, and it could have a K, then it could have a... I know, it's very hard to bring out. But like, if you write Caitlin with a C, but it also could be Caitlin with a K, names like those are serial killers, or thieves, or something mischievous. Those people that their names, you can switch the first letter around, the K and the C, and it could be either. You gotta stay away, or be very careful. Set boundaries. And if you're dating a girl and it happens to be like that in that scenario, be careful. Still, even if you say, oh, I trust them, who knows? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help you out. Then we got Kyle's and Ashley's. I think those names by far are the 2 that everybody's like nodding their heads to, like, yeah. Because a Kyle is the Ashley of the boy names, and Ashley is the Kyle of the girl names. They like are interchangeable. Like they just are exactly alike, in my opinion. Because Kyle's, some people could be like, oh well, he's just that stupid idiot dude. He's a Kyle. Or, yeah, Kyle, he's a complete jerk. Same thing with Ashley. Ashley could be a complete crazy psycho, or she's just a complete jerk. Completely mean. they would be a perfect couple, Kyle's and Ashley's. I think so. I think it would work. Or their powers of them being either so like crazy or so mean or just so dumb and so crazy come together. It's just like a bomb. It's just bad, 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 bad. Just awfulness waiting to happen. Actually, yeah. I don't think any Kyles should be with any Ashleys. It's just a mash that should not be put together. Shouldn't be interchangeable. It shouldn't happen. It's not going to be any good news. I don't think it would be good news. I don't. We should do that experiment. I don't know. There could be Ashleys and Kyles that are together at this moment. But that would be a nice experiment to look at and look into for sure. So we need to look back at what I said. If you're planning to date or make new friends in the future, I say names are the biggest things because names are the first things that will be what you look at in life. And like what you first look at when you first meet somebody, you're going to see their name, you're going to meet them, and that's how it's going to be. So their name is a big thing to you. And if that name just throws off a red flag, I'm telling you, it may not be a good person for you, either friend-wise or dating-wise. So that's why I say any girl's named Stephanie, anyone with a unisex name, any guy with a single syllable name, any girls with K versions of C names or C versions of K names, and Kyle's and Ashley's. Boom. That's the list. You can rewind that as many times as you want to. Hopefully you took notes. Hopefully you took notes and were like, you know what? I'm going to learn something today. And hopefully you did. Hopefully you learned something from the last I Go Heart podcast about making friends and relationships. Even though I don't really know much about either. I don't know much about either. But I think based off of names wise, that's a really good rule basis. It's not meant to hurt anybody. It's just meant so you can have the best opportunity to make the best friends and have the best chances to date the best person at that moment. That is what I am trying to get at here. And as an added bonus, if I was to date anybody, and I think you should go by this rule too, don't date anybody with your family members' names. Preferably your mom's name, your sister's name, your brother's name. I go as far as not dating anybody with my dog's names. So I'm not dating any Shelbys. I'm not gonna date any Sophies. Shelby and Sophie is out of the question. Those are my two dogs' names. At my parents' home, I just can't do it. Because to me, then at that point, it's like I'm dating my dog. I can't do it. I just can't. And then Savannah's are out of the question. That's my sister's name. And then Mia's. I don't think I've ever met another Mia. And if I did, it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. So, Sophie, Shelby, Savannah, and Mia. I don't know why there's so many S's in that, but there is. I guess there has to be a mix of something, and that's what it was. Okay, you don't have to worry about me. I do not have COVID. I know. I just had a little bit of a I don't know, a little bit of a dry thing that happened there. But I don't have COVID. I recently took the test. I'm not I'm negative. Why did I say I'm not positive? I just am straight negative. But it took so long to get in. It took like 3 days. It was so annoying. And I love the younger generation. I know. We kind of really switched subjects. But I will get back to that in a second. But real quick, I do have to talk about COVID for a second. Because back in the, like, when it first all started, the younger generation was really like looking and around and going, oh wow, this is actually kind of maybe a serious thing. Maybe it's kind of whatever. I mean, there was a few idiots that had COVID parties and whatnot, but then it slowly has now gotten to the point of like, hey, can you cough on my face real quick so I can, go test positive so I don't have to go to class tomorrow? It's kind of like gotten to it's a crutch now. It's a crutch for the younger generation, and it's not taken as seriously. Not as many protocols anymore. But that's what we do as a younger generation. We realize that it's really not that big of a deal. It only cuts out the weakest links, and then now we're here. So that's what I got from it. But hey, hopefully you were listening and paying attention in detail to the list of names that you need to be careful of and be aware of, and take notes on it, and make sure to put it in your back pocket whenever you're going to make new friends, because COVID's going to be up. I think they're going to have a vaccine in spring. So definitely next summer, there's going to be a chance for some of y'all to make friends. And for some of you that don't have any friends and that joined COVID without any friends, I just want to let you know to stick in there. Okay? Don't do anything that you're going to regret. Okay? You can stick in there. You will find friends in the summer. Just you got to stick through December. Oh, well, you got to stick through November. A Thanksgiving and alone, okay? And then stick through Christmas. That Christmas is going to be awful for you because you're going to be alone. And then you're going to have to stick all the way through spring. Okay? Spring. Maybe spring break will be around, but you won't have to worry about spring break because you'll still be alone. And then you got the summer, and then you'll be able to make plenty of friends. And as for the people that are dating, hopefully you will listen to the list and know which names to avoid. I'm just doing this for your own good. These are not stereotypes. These are fully, like, 100% the Last I Go Heart podcast facts. They're backed up by a ton of research and maybe a little bit of bias. But it's to help you put up that barrier and help you do things that you know, it helps you make that first step a little bit easier. And I am glad to help and be of that help. But I have to take a drink real quick. My throat's getting a little scratchy for some reason. Whew. I got it down. I don't know what it was, but I think that relieved it. My stomach's doing that weird little thing. You know that weird little sound that your stomach makes, like when you drink too much water or whatever, and you just sit in your stomach and you shake around, and it makes that little. Hold on, let me stand up. Let me stand up. I got this. I got it. Okay. Can y'all hear that? Okay. If you can hear that, I don't know if you could or not, but I think you can get a little bit of glimpses in there. That was my stomach. It's because apparently I drank a lot of water, and it's just sitting in my gut, and every time I shake around, it has to make some noise. I just love when that happens. It makes my stomach feel like a waterbed or something, like a little water pillow. Or like I'm a camel. I'm just storing hydration for whenever I get a little bit of dehydrated. I just drank a little bit more, and I am feeling great. We're gonna be now moving along into my fun fact portion. Fun facts. I guess I'm gonna have to, do something a little. Actually, I'm gonna do a little throwback to high school here, for all the kids out there that loved love messing with pens and pencils, you know. I just gotta throw out this little bit of a flex real quick. Little. Hold on, that little warp sound. Did you hear that warp sound that it made when I like put? That's me banging on the table with my wrist, and it made that little warp sound. I mean, I'm gonna do it one more time. It's a little nice little beat. Oh, okay, hold on, wait, I got my wrist messed up. Okay, all right, that's the end of that. That's the end of me being stupid. But that right there, boom, that's gonna be my intro. That was my intro to my fun facts portion. So the fun fact that I have for you today is the world's shortest war in history lasted it lasted 38 minutes. The world's shortest war lasted 38 minutes. Huh. And then I, of course, had to go onto the internet and had to search this bad boy up to see what it was all about. And I'm not really good at pronouncing things, but it was the Anglo-Zanzibar War. Actually, I pronounced that correctly. The Anglo-Zanzibar War lasted about 38 minutes. And it was because it was between the British and it was between Great Britain and the Zanzibar Sultanate on the 27th of August, 1896, and the conflict lasted between 38 and 45 minutes. Basically, what happened is a guy died off of the Zanzibar, whatever, and then a guy got replaced, but Great Britain didn't like the guy they replaced, so they were like, hey, buddy, get out. And they were like, hey, no. He put his soldiers up. Great Britain came in with all their naval ships, started destroying everything. He got out. Great Britain ended up in the end putting who they wanted in there. And boom, that's what you call business. Okay, 38 minutes. And they switched up a whole country and flipped it on its head in 38 minutes. A 38-minute war? A 38-minute war. Just sitting there just like, oh, okay. What are you going to do? And then he was like, oh, okay, we'll show you what we can do. Just start spraying them with some cannonballs and lead. Ended up killing 500 Zanzibar soldiers and only one naval. I can't believe this makes me laugh, but one guy from Great Britain's navy got injured. One guy out of, I don't know, God knows how many soldiers Great Britain brought, but they probably just kept them on the ships. Or maybe they put him on the land for a little bit, but one guy got injured. I would feel like just the absolute worst soldier just to be the one guy that got injured during that. Just like, oh God, I'm bleeding. I have to go back to the ship. We're literally destroying this guy, and I got injured. Like, what, did a rock fall? Did he actually, trip and fall, and he got a little bit of more of a scrape than he intended to, and he had to go back on the ship? One injury, one casualty, just send him home. Give him the purple star for the Zanzibar War that lasted 38 minutes. 38 minutes. God, that's how long most of my lunch breaks are. Like 40 minutes. I get like a 40-minute lunch break. By the time I'm done with my lunch break, the war is already over. Just, oh wow. You're already done? Oh, you're done? You're good? Wow, I'm about to go back to work. I'm about to clock in for a shift, but you're already done taking over a whole country? Good for you. Good job, Zanzibar. Way to go. way to go at it. But that is what I thought was very interesting, and that was the fun fact that I had for you guys. But now we're going to move along into the news article portion. News article with Dawson Iglehart. See, I don't know. I gotta finish making my intros to both those things because I have them in every one of my podcasts. So, fun fact and news article. I've said it for the past 3 podcasts. Hey guys, I'm gonna make my intros for them, and I never have ever ended up doing it just yet, but I'm going to. It may be on there next Friday. Who knows? Who knows if I even am gonna have a podcast next Friday? I'm just kidding. It's a goal, so it's gonna happen. So Friday podcast next week, and I may or may not have an intro. More than likely, I might because it's so far away. What else do I have going on? I mean, I got work and stuff, but come on, Dawson, get some motivation in there and stick it through. But for my news article, I have German man sets world record with 516 body modifications. Isn't he a hottie? You want to hear how he talks? Let me pull up the video real quick. Let me see. I want to pull up the part where he says something about how people think he's the devil. Hold on, he's... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's probably the best quote of 2020 right there. Like, just...
A lot of people think I'm the devil, but I don't believe.
A lot of people think I am the devil, but I don't believe in the devil. Like, come on. That's like a quote that just chills down the spine. A lot of people think I'm the devil, but I don't believe in the devil. And this guy sounds like that because around his lips, he has like 300 and something piercings just around his lips alone. Just around his lips alone, he has legit 300 and something piercings. He has like, I think 30 something piercings across his eyebrows. I think he weighs in at a total of like, I don't know, 600 piercings, something like that. I don't know, some ridiculous number. His body's also almost like legit completely covered in tattoos. And he has his eyeballs pierced. He has those little devil silicone horns in his head. He's got, I don't know. He just has a lot of problems. He can barely talk. He literally talks like this because he's got so much metal in his mouth. So much metal in his mouth. I mean, seriously. I would just bury that guy on the beach whenever he passes, just so when people come by with a metal detector and they're like, "Oh my God, I found something. Come here, honey. I found the jackpot." And they start digging up. They dig up this old guy's body just with all these piercings that used to be on his face. And they're just like, "Oh God, no, this is gross. This is disgusting." Or I vouch I would want to put his head on a stick and I would keep him in my yard. That's what I would do. I would just keep him in my yard. I would just stick it in my yard and use it as like a little guard thing to keep the people away. They'll be like, did you see how many piercings are around that guy's lip? It's pretty scary. Let's get out of here. Or you can use it as like a coat rack. Use his lips as a coat rack. You can, like thread some stuff in. I don't know. You can probably use his lips for many of things. With all those piercings, they have to be some use, but then just sitting there. he must be really great being a fishing buddy, just in case if they forgot hooks, he's got them all on his lips. But I don't know, but most body modifications by far is something. But thank you everybody for listening for episode 25 of the Last Eagle Heart podcast. I once again apologize for the inconvenience and not coming through last Friday and bringing you in another fresh episode with this fresh ideas just coming through this brain or fresh thoughts, but had little complications come that arise. I assured that through y'all's lives problems arise as well. And but I came through this Friday and gave you another one. But everybody, thank you for listening to episode 25. In the descriptions, my email, on my social medias. If you have any questions, email me, DM me. If you want me to react to a video, or do you want me to talk about something on the podcast that you've never heard, or that you want some insight on, go ahead, shoot me something. I'm willing to talk about anything. I don't care what it is. But also remember, November is around the corner, and there's a challenge for y'all. No necrophilia November. Hashtag no necrophilia November. It's a thing. Remember it, okay? It's going to be very hard. It's a very solid thing that I think we should all participate in. If you don't want to participate in it, it's fine. I think, it doesn't mean anything bad. It's very needed. But, if you want to feel cleansed going into December, I would go ahead and do it and, do it along with me. So hashtag no necrophilia November. Remember that. And once again, thank you for listening to episode 25. And I will see you next Friday.
Eagle Heart podcast. You are listening to the Last Eagle Heart. You are listening to the Last Eagle Heart podcast.